Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Allie. If you're new here, hello. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for not being sick of me yet. I've been a little MIA for the past couple weeks. I took some time off, holidays, spend time with my family, all that good stuff. We are back. I'm excited to be here. It's a new year, lots of new books coming out, things I'm very excited for. I hope you guys also had a good holiday season. So let's jump right into today's video. So if you read the title, you know exactly what we're doing today. I've been reading through Steph Bohrer's 5-star book list. If you don't know who Steph Bohrer is, she is a very popular booktuber, book talker. She's personally one of my favorites. I will have her channel linked down below in the description, so go check her out. She's got a lot of great recommendations and a really great community that I think you guys would enjoy. So the first book or series she brought up was the Addicted to You series by Christina and Becca Ritchie. Steph adores these books. She has like a tattoo for them and everything. I at first wasn't the big fan of these. I think this specific first book I gave 3 stars, where she like 4 or 5 stars pretty much every book from the whole series. I pretty much 3-starred like the first half of the series. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It wasn't necessarily my favorite, but towards the end I adored it. The last 4 or 5 books I've read everything but the epilogue novel. I have not read that one yet. At the end I adored this series. I was 5-starring pretty much every book from like the last 2 Calloway sister books on. So overall I would probably 4 or 4.5 star the series, since I did 3 star so many at the beginning. It's definitely an amazing series. Go check it out. It is a companion novel series. There are I think 4 or 5 Addicted main series books, and then there are 4 Calloway sister spin-off books, and you read them intertwined. Very good. I ended up loving it. I highly recommend it. So the next 2 that she 5-starred that I also read were November 9th and Ugly Love, both by Colleen Hoover. I believe I 4-starred both of these books. I very much enjoyed them, but they weren't necessarily my favorite. For me, the only Colleen Hoover books that I have ever 5-starred was Verity and It Ends With Us. Those 2 for me are my all-time favorites. These I both 4-starred. I did enjoy them. They're both very good. Ugly Love is brother's best friend's romance, and obviously it's Colleen Hoover, so you got some big plot twists in it. This one will most likely make you cry. And then November 9th is more of a friends to lovers. These 2 people meet and they have no contact, and they meet up once a year on November 9th. Only on November 9th. They don't have each other on social media, phone numbers, anything. It's just them progressing, knowing each other and seeing each other once a year. It's very good. I did a reading blog of this. I read it for the first time on November 9th. That is further down on my channel if you want to scroll down and check that out. It is very chaotic. So the next one she 5-starred was The Hating Game. I also 5-starred this book. This book is so cute. The movie recently came out. I watched it. It's not the worst movie adaptation I've seen. It's not the best. It's alright. I do recommend watching it if this is a book you really enjoy. This is workplace romance, kind of enemies to lovers. Very cute. The banter in this book is amazing. I also had the tiny little pocket-sized version. That's why it looks so small. But it's very cute. It's popular for a reason. I adore it. If you want some good banter, some workplace romance, some enemies to lovers, you will very much enjoy this book, and I highly recommend it. So then the next one she mentioned was one of what I call the big 3 that was going around like crazy all over the internet earlier in the year. The On Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. In my opinion, the big 3 is On Honeymooners, Beach Read, and People We Meet on Vacation. Those kind of all go together. The On Honeymooners, I believe I 4-starred. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite book of all time, but it was still really good, and I definitely recommend it. This is, again, enemies to lovers vibes. This follows Olive and Ethan. Olive is the sister of a bride, and Ethan is the brother of a groom. The bride and groom get sick, can't go on their honeymoon, so Olive and Ethan go for them, and they basically have to pretend to be married so that they don't get kicked off of this honeymoon thing, but they hate each other. So it's very cute, lots of good banter. I definitely would read it again. I definitely recommend it if you just want a cute little enemies to lovers kind of summery vibes read. I definitely recommend it. So the next up is probably, well, it is what Steph Bohrer considers her all-time favorite book, which a lot of people consider their all-time favorite book, Song of Achilles. I have not read Song of Achilles yet, and this is my reasoning. I have also already read Circe by Madeline Miller, same author. It's the same Greek mythology type book, just it's about Circe and not Achilles. I 3-starred Circe. I enjoyed the storyline, but I'm not a Greek mythology buff. I will read any and every Persephone and Hades retelling because they're all just modernly retold romance books. Most of them aren't really Greek mythology heavy, whereas Madeline Miller stuff like Circe and Song of Achilles are Greek mythology heavy. I was able to understand the book enough to follow the story. It wasn't something that I was like so in love with because I knew everybody's backstory and like I could really relate to it. So I feel like the only reason I have not read Song of Achilles yet is because I know that in a way it's going to be the same thing where it's going to be very Greek mythology heavy and I will understand the storyline, but it won't be something that I can super relate to and get attached to. I know this is a lot of people's favorite books and I totally understand why. Madeline Miller writes amazing books and I definitely do recommend them if you like Greek mythology stuff. I just have not put in the effort to read this yet because I'm kind of afraid to in a way, because I know that it has such big hype and I know that people love it so much, and I know in my heart that although I'm going to enjoy it, I'm not going to be able to 5-star it, and so I've been putting it off. Circe was good. I 3-starred it because I still enjoyed the plot line. If you like Greek mythology, and I know that this is very much romance, a lot of people say it has amazing quotes and amazing storyline, so I do recommend it. I might do a reading vlog of this. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know and I will definitely consider it. That will honestly push me to read it more, or else this will probably sit on my shelf forever. So next up is probably one of my all-time favorite reads of the year. I am mad at myself that it took me this long to read it. I also very much 5-starred it. Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. But this is LGBTQIA plus representation. I adore this book. I wish that they were real people because I would love them to death. This book is so cute. It made my heart happy. It's just an amazing romance read. So this follows Alex. He is the son of the first female president, and Henry, who is the Prince of, I believe, Wales. They are both discovering their sexuality together and kind of working through their relationship together in the public eye. It's so cute. I want to read this every second of every day. I very much recommend it. Please go read it if you haven't. So the next two books I have found a way to bring up in almost every single video on my channel so far because they are probably one of my all-time favorite duets, and that is Full Tilt and All In by Emma Scott. I cannot tell you enough that you need to read these. If you liked Fault in Our Stars, you will adore these. These books made me cry like a child. I was crying in the parking lot of my job reading these. These are amazing. They will break your soul and heal it. I don't know how to convince you guys to read these more than I already have. They're incredible. You are missing out on such amazing characters and such amazing plot lines and storylines and love romances if you have not read them. I'm begging you at this point. Quite literally, I will send you $5 if you read these. This follows Casey and Jonah. Casey is in a rock band and she's kind of going through hard times dealing with alcohol and drugs. She meets Jonah, they meet and fall in love, and it's their love story. It breaks your heart, and then All In follows Casey after everything and how she heals. It's also painful, but it helps heal your soul a little bit more. I cannot recommend these enough. Please go read them. You have no idea what you're missing out on. And then last but not least is a book by one of my all-time favorite authors, Wall of Winnipeg by Mariana Zapata. I believe that this was actually the first Mariana Zapata book that I ever read. I 4-starred this. Again, obviously Steph 5-starred it. I very much enjoyed it, but I have read other Mariana Zapata books since then, and it's definitely not my favorite. I think if this was the only one that I ever read, I would have 100% 5-starred it. I have 5-starred other books above this. I still very much enjoy it. This is sports romance, kind of enemies to lovers. This follows Vanessa and Aiden. Vanessa is Aiden's like personal assistant. Aiden is this big NFL superstar, but he's very cold. He like never says thank you to Vanessa for anything she does. Like he treats her like trash, and Vanessa eventually gets sick of it and quits. And then about a month later, Aiden shows up on her doorstep and is asking her to come back to work, but under some strange conditions. But this is enemies to lovers, fake dating, kind of marriage of convenience. Very good if you like sports romance and any of those tropes. Very much slow burn since it is Mariana Zapata. Honestly, recommend any Mariana Zapata book. I have yet to read one that I didn't at least 4-star. I love Mariana Zapata. If you also want me to kind of make a video about my favorite Mariana Zapata books and why, let me know and I will also be open to that. So yeah, that is me reading Steph Bohrer's 5-star book list. There are some that I didn't read, so go watch her video and check it out. I'm sure she does a lot better job explaining books than what I do. I'm usually terrible at that, and you can see her other recommendations. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate you being here. I promise we will be back on a normal schedule of weekly uploads. I look forward to hanging out with you guys again. Again, I hope you guys had an amazing holiday season. It's a new year. I'm ready to start fresh with you guys. There's a lot of books coming out soon that I'm super excited for. I love and appreciate you so much. If you'd like to follow me on any of my other social medias, they'll all be linked down in the description box, as well as on my home screen channel banner, and I will see you guys somewhere else on the internet. Bye.